staff here say. Urgent care centres have a huge amount of limitations. Some people want them to be called minor A&Es, but do not be fooled by that name. There will be no A&E doctors there. There will be no A&E consultants or registrars. I've already asked Mark Spencer at a meeting and been told that there won't be anybody like that there at all, so don't be fooled by that. Excuse me for looking at the notes, but as you were talking, I was just making several notes to Rivercourt, as well as all the other things that you mentioned that cannot be dealt with at an urgent care centre. Can I just also mention things like, we see a lot of head injuries, but if you have any worrying symptoms, you really need to be in A&E, where you can have a period of observation for a few hours, maybe overnight, if there's nobody at home to look after you. That way you're safe. You might just need antibiotics intravenously for 24 hours or so. Things like sepsis. If you've got really high temperature, you need to go to A&E. You might need an urgent blood test to rule out or rule in certain important problems. If your child suddenly swallowed a handful of tablets, don't bring them to an urgent care centre. You need an A&E. If someone's unconscious for a reason other than a stroke or a heart attack or whatever, you need to go to A&E. And in fact, quite recently, yesterday, I was reading the new NICE guidance for head injuries, which says, towards the end, that as far as severe head injury is concerned, there is minimal evidence that taking them to a neuroscience centre rather than and bypassing your A&E has there's minimal evidence that there's any benefit from doing that, rather than going to your nearest A&E department. So actually, this thing about specialist centres is, you have to be really clear about who you're taking there and who you're not. And one of the other things I wanted to say was, people say coming to A&E for minor problems, fine, have an urgent care centre next to A&E. My particular concern from working in A&E departments has actually been the majors department. This is the department where people are really quite unwell. They need to be on the trolley, they need blood tests, they might need other investigations, specialist referral, probably admission. This is the area that, in my mind, is the real worry. I don't mind if someone stubbed their toe and they go over the 4-hour time limit. Yes, target, tick a box, but actually you're safe. My worry is patient safety in the majors and other areas where you probably don't have a bed. My experience is, most of the pressure in A&E is caused by staff shortages of nurses especially, shortages of doctors, shortages of beds, because you cannot get people out of the department safely to an appropriate bed. These are the things that really worry me, and I cannot see how closing all these A&E departments is going to help that one little bit.